in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses. And if you wanna be a chef, then I say cook it up. And if you wanna be the champ, well I say hook it up. Cause I can never tell you what you can't be. Yes I can, see a failure is something you can't be. Plus, I get you a shuttle if you feel that you need space. The sky's the limit, get you wings for your birthday. Whatever makes you happy, if you like it, then I love it. Turning nothing into something, I'm all in and I ain't bluffing. I'm who you got when the world ain't got your back, man. I pull over when life puts you in the fast lane. I'm in your corner like Bandini, if you tumble, I'll tell you like him. Rumble, young man, rumble, see. Some women go cause I ain't make them happiest. Plus who am I to impede on somebody's happiness? I guess I learned a lot by going with the flow of things. You fight the current like Simon, we die and go insane. That's why I stay up in my lane, just be a lyricist. And yes, I'm multifaceted, but not omnipotent. And what I do know is we all gon' have a path to take. And I won't be the one that's standing in somebody's way. There ain't no perfect life or perfect way to get success. But there's a perfect way to take the time to be yourself. And you gon' find it when you find it, ain't no rushing that. Too many get running this rat race, how many gon' just relax? When life ain't just about money, Jesus ain't die rich. Neither did Martin Luther Gandhi or Malcolm X. And one say life gon' constantly change, so don't get stuck in one space, you won't be open for things. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Underrated. I ain't forget. I just been working and I hurt my doggone back. But I'm off all next week, so I got you. Um, so as you see by the title, and if you see the thumbnail, it's about the future. Because the future is going to be built on inactivity. And why am I talking about this and why am I saying this? Is because, if you live a little bit, enjoy life a little bit. If you look at America, if you look at the complaints people are having, the vast majority of it is built around inactivity. You see, you can make the argument that everybody in America is taught the ultimate thing to be is a slave master, where somebody else does all the work and you reap all the benefit. So when it gets to employment, they're talking about, the generation, young people in school, they're not reading. See, it was the argument not too long ago that black boys were reading at a 4th grade level. But then all of a sudden you got to bring out the whole truth. The vast majority of society can't read or isn't reading because they don't have to. So what do you have? I got a phone. I got my earbuds, my AirPods, whatever you want to call it, right? I can listen to everything. I can watch everything. But the problem is people's attention span is too short. So now you don't want to do that. Now you don't want to do that either. So now we had an issue because everybody wants a better future, a better world, a better America. But nobody is saying who gonna do it. Who's gonna, are the kids that's not reading, are they going to bring a better future when they want somebody else to do it for them? Are some of the adults that are in the workforce, new and old? Oh, I want a better world. For who? You ain't willing to do nothing. See, we talk like people want um in a general sense, people want a soft life. But to have a soft life, somebody has to be doing all the heavy work, all the hard work. So who's doing it? Oh, we're gonna get AI to do it. Oh, okay. So if AI gonna do it, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna enjoy my work life balance, but you're not working. And why I say a future built on inactivity is because you have too many adults and young adults believing that, hey man, I could just live my best life from home, over the phone, over the internet, and then what? You know, because there's always going to be somebody to pick up the trash. There's always going to be somebody to ride Uber. There's always going to be somebody doing fast food. But here's the issue: everybody is getting to the point where they think it's not them that's going to have to do any work. Everybody, everybody's believing I ain't got to do nothing. It's like, oh, okay. So if you ain't got to do nothing and everybody else ain't got to do nothing, who's going to be doing stuff? Oh, I don't know. And this is what I mean. You have people, at first freaking out, not even freaking out, people bringing up the immigration issue and bringing all these illegal immigrants to work in America. And then you have people ready to vote like, hey, we got to kick them out of here, man. And it's like, but who got blamed? They're going to take the black jobs. Oh, and now you're hearing people go, well, if it'll cripple the economy because if they don't do the work, who's going to do it? Right. That's a good question. How come you can't do it? How come you can't do it? But I just can't do it because it's just not my I have a different skill. It's like, no, you just lazy. That's all that is. You just lazy. We're at a point where people are above work. People, the idea of work is stressful. Everything is traumatic and trauma. And then it's like, well, okay, if everything is upsetting and stressful, what are you going to do your whole life? Oh, nothing. Nothing. That's what you want to do. Nothing. Interesting. So if you want to do nothing, but I want to go here. I want to eat at all the finest restaurants. I want to travel the world. I want to live in a mansion. I want to drive all the flyest cars and wear all the flyest clothes. It's like, but yeah, but that's gonna take money though, right? That's gonna take money, right? Excuse me. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of money. Okay, so do you have a lot of money? Uh, I'm gonna get it. How? Uh, I'm gonna manifest, basically. You basically, yeah, we gonna manifest. That's what we doing. Okay, because you have too many adults playing this game, and this goes into even the internet part of expertise. Thank you, fam. You know, this goes to the internet part of expertise where everybody's an expert. But here's the interesting thing about everybody being an expert on everything in life. You're listening to expertise from people who don't do anything. Let's take relationship advice from people who aren't in relationships. Let's take dating advice from people who don't date. You know, let's take mental toughness advice from people who aren't mentally tough because they don't do anything to be mentally tough. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take great financial advice from people who don't really do business. They scam. Let's just, yeah, that's a good idea. And people are believing it. Yeah, it can happen to me too. What is going to happen? What are you talking about right now? People are out here, and this is what I mean. This is not just It's the people in the workforce. It's the same thing. You have people who've been working jobs for 10, 20, 30 years. Well, I take it back. When you got people working 30 years, if they start chilling, they start chilling. They didn't work 30 years. But if you got people in the workforce who there's job they have a job is to just, stall all day long, yeah, you're gonna have a problem. You have a huge problem. Hold up. You know, you're gonna have a huge problem in society. You know, not everybody ain't smart enough to do their job. Not a not a car mechanic is he get well, the diagnostic didn't tell me how to fix it. Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, fine. You know, n- you go to school. The teachers can't teach you because you know the kids are taught to be inactive. And there's there are major jobs. People say if you work for the government, oh, they work for the government. They don't, they're not going to do anything because they feel like their job's guaranteed. You talk about law. People don't like lawyers anymore because like I'm overcharging for little to no work. What up, Solo? Hey man, you gotta get, we gotta get the AI robot girlfriend, but I forgot to plug her up though. How come she can't plug herself up? You know what I'm saying? So now we're at a space where the future is not going to look so bright because we got a culture in a country built on inactivity. That's what we build a culture on. We don't have a culture built on constant work for growth. Like people want growth in society and each generation to be better off than the next. But obviously you don't get it. Like when people hit a certain plateau, if there's no struggle, if there's no hard work, people are born into people are born into good situations. And because they're born into good situations, they're entitled. This is I've had a good life my whole life. So is it time to provide the next generation that life? That's where we're at. No, see, we have generations. We have a few generations of people who, they don't want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have a family. I just want to live my life. And it's like, oh, okay. Let me ask you something. Because life is just so stressful. Yeah. Well, as a person who's done all of that stuff, I say this. There's a good side to everything and there's a bad side to everything. You got pros and cons with everything. But if you start to believe that a good life is one where you don't do a lot of things, you basically gonna waste your life. A whole lifetime. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing that. That's beneath me. Because what we're doing is we're making not doing stuff. We're putting that in the realm of that's smart. Because I don't do this, I'm smart. Because I don't do that, I'm smart. Because I won't do this, I'm smart. But the problem is you don't do anything at a certain point. And that's what the future is about to be. A bunch of people who don't do anything. And the worst part about it is people don't know how to do anything. And no, I take that back. That's not the worst part. People don't want to even teach themselves how to do stuff that they're interested in. They don't care enough. Like I've been listening to a bunch of stuff on social media, and I'm hearing people just, I never thought it would be a day where I actually hear people talk like a spoiled valley girl. This and especially on social media, this is the age of that. Well, I'm so life is just an issue because I'm dealing with so much trauma, and this toxic environment, and we need to kill the patriarchy, and we also need to fix the educational system, and we need to get back to traditional values, and we need to have a hardworking environment, and we need to people need to be tough. Just because I troll you on the internet does not give you a reason to be upset. This is where we're at. We're in a passive aggressive era where people really want other people to do the heavy lifting for them, and the best they got is, I'm going to talk about you. You know, yeah, yeah. We got a country of people who are busy doing absolutely nothing. I was busy. You've been on you've been on Instagram, making doing pictures. I was busy. I was sleeping. Man, you always sleeping. The question is, what you do when you gonna wake up? I was busy. I was eating. You need to back away from the table because you eat too much. You know what I'm saying? I was busy. I was on the phone. Mm, you don't talk to nobody. And the reason why I gotta double down on some of this stuff is because people want a future where everybody's middle class. I hate to break the news to you. It's not going to be a middle class future. It's going to be rich and it's going to be poor, and the vast majority of people are going to be in the poor section because the vast majority of people don't want to hear a staunch reality that, yeah, you might be mathematically on the wrong end of the stick in life. If you're not born into wealth, that's true. That is very much so true. But this idea that I'm never going to do anything, I might as well just quit before I get started mentality. I don't know where you think that's going to get you. Yeah, I can't do the lip smacking. you know, you know. I just why go to college? Why work at a job that I don't like? You know why do I have to pay bills? I just want to be on my why. It's like, oh, okay, all right. And the reason why I say a future built on inactivity is because what you're basically essentially starting to see is people who want to check out of adult life, but somebody else is going to have to take care of them. I just the house, apartments are too expensive, which they are. I'm gonna move back with my family. Yo, whoa, you grown in the mug. Wait. So your parents and your family got to take care of you now. Why you tell the world, it is so difficult. And this is why I say it's a problem, because you got too many people who are moving back home and moving in with their family, and they still not saving money. Because why would I work a job that I don't feel enthusiastic about? Oh, okay. So you want to live somewhere where somebody else pays the majority of the bills, and and you could actually use that time to work and make money and save money so you can get out on the world on your own, but you don't. That's the problem. That's you know he said, like stop generalizing and projecting. Just because look, just because I graduated high school at 17 and left home and never went back and never lived with my parents again, I'm sorry. Yeah, just because I had to buy get have roommates and live in a dump apartment that had no furniture for years, why can't you do it? But is literally projecting. Yeah, this is a problem. You can't you go into the future and you're inactive. And then people, because this is one of the things I was listening to today, where somebody was talking about how they were talking about daylight savings time, you know, and how, we can get rid of daylight savings or whatever. And because it was for farmers, right? And it's like, oh, okay. We don't need chicken. There aren't these chicken wings. There aren't as many chicken wings in the world anyways. And it's like, man, listen, the cost of I don't know. You about to make me cuss you out because I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you think the cost of living changed for just this era? That's what you think? You think the cost of living was perfect in the 80s? That's what you think? That's what you think? Hate to break the news to you. This is the cost of living high? Yes, it is. It's real high. But there have been times in this lifetime, my lifetime, where it's been worse than this. People was making $15,000 a year in the 80s. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all don't understand that. Oh, I'm sorry. You think this era is the worst era to live in. It ain't. Pay ain't never been matching. It's never matched. That's the problem. Pay is never matched. What do you think the crack era was about? Because people were just so rich everywhere? No. Stupid stuff. Just stupid stuff. But hey, what do I know, right? Did the price of school go up? Yes. But common sense went down. Because the world is built on inactivity. That's what people think. You can be inactive and not do anything, and somebody else does it for you. But let me go back. When I was talking about daylight savings, and they were saying it was for farmers and why do it, why keep it, and it dawned on me. I'm like, you know what our problem is? You actually think that sitting in front of a microphone or a camera or sitting in front of a computer at home, is actually work. That's what people think now. They think sitting in front of a computer is actually work. Motherfucker, I lived in the 80s and 90s. I was born in 79. You have no idea what you talking about. So, let's do this. Let's do this. And here, no, you want no. You want to be abroad to have a nice day stuff. Let me explain something about you because I'm guessing you young. By your comments, you young. You know what young people don't have nowadays as a norm? Y'all don't know what a syrup sandwich is. Y'all don't know that you can use newspaper for toilet paper. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't actually wear hand-me-down clothes. Y'all don't have a life for that. Y'all don't miss meals. Y'all don't really know what it's like to use your candles for lights because the lights ain't on. Or if the gas on, you open up the stove to put heat in the house because that's all you got when you ain't got no lights. Y'all don't know what that's like. Y'all don't know actually what it's like to have cold showers in the wintertime because you ain't got the money for heat. You don't know what that's like really. The problem is, are things difficult for younger people? Yeah. But cut it out. Cut it out. Yeah, cereal with water. Exactly. Y'all don't get that. Y'all have no idea. Times are hard now because I got $1,000 phone. No. Cut it out. You know, we we got you know. Thank. I hear you on that. This is where, and this is why I'm saying it's inactivity. This idea that I got to, everything's got to be given, or not necessarily got to be given. Because I know it's some hardworking young folks out here. I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy, but I do know that the hardworking young folks even know with their own group. They like, nah, this bull. Like I said, this ain't a generational issue. Like the youth ain't trash. No, 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 no. This is a future issue because a lot of what's going on right now is people not wanting to do anything at all. We live in a society where, we act like, cooking is taboo. Oh, I can't cook my own food. You're lazy. You're lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. We live in a society where you get praised, because you lost 100 pounds. You lost 75 pounds. And somebody be like, what do you mean? You lost seven. Like, why did you gain 100 pounds? Why did you gain 75 pounds? How did you even get yourself in that predicament? We live in a society where people, their feelings matter. My feelings, if I don't feel something, like what are we talking about? You cannot be inspired by something every day to do something. That is unrealistic. And that's why you have all of this inactivity, because people need some special moment to get up off their butt. I need a special moment. You got kids needing a special moment to study. You know, you got adults. I need a special moment to feel important. It's like, no, 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 no. You know, no, no, no. We're not having that. Because now what people don't want to say is, I don't know what kind of future you think is going to be here. Because like I said, let y'all tell it. Y'all not gonna have people working on the oil rigs. Y'all not gonna have roughnecks, which that's guys who work on oil rigs. We're not gonna have truck drivers like that because yeah, y'all just can't. I just can't do it. You're not gonna have garbage men like that because I just can't because you know, y'all not gonna have people. We already don't have people doing really construction and home building that are quote unquote Americans. You get what I'm saying? You're not going. How many people you gonna have doing the cleaning the sewers in the future? Because I just can't. I just can't. I just can't. You remember? I forgot that band's name. He did that series on tough jobs. The tough jobs in America, and they pay well, but people just didn't want to do them. You get what I'm saying? I just can't. I just can't. I just can't. It's just like okay, here we go. Like he said, linesman. We don't want to do that. See, people. I don't know what people think is going to happen. Like everybody in the world is going to be replaceable by some form of AI, but somehow the world is just going to work great. Well, if you think that, what are you going to be doing in this world? Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because if you think you're gonna go buy Starbucks and walk and just enjoy society and go to the movies, news flash, that's gonna take money. It's gonna take money. And people should have known that already. Oh yeah, because you know, that's a whole nother part. That's a whole nother part. Because I'm gonna tell you, even in the even in the work world, what you have is a lot of companies who trying to scam their employees. So part of this quitting that people are doing isn't just they're lazy. Part of this quitting is the management of these companies is incompetent because they don't feel like they have to do anything either. They don't have to pay people properly. They don't have to get the hours right. They don't have to get the time right. They could just shortchange you at will and be like, oh, okay, the company's gonna stay in business. They could overcharge the customers and the customers are gonna keep coming back. It's like, bro, this is not I don't know what you smoking on, but this is not gonna go well. So it's like the future of inactivity is gonna be here, you know? Right. So now we have an issue because people aren't paying attention to the world that they think they want. Like this ain't gonna be some futuristic world where everybody just gets to lollygag and just find themselves, which is another problem right now. You see all of these people looking to find, I need to be my best self or make my best self or you know explore who I am. And truth be told, they just wasting years of their life doing absolutely nothing. That's all they doing. They just wasting their life away, because they ain't doing nothing. That it happens. You've seen it over and over. If you pay attention, you see it over and over and over again. This is and the worst part about inactivity is you got a lot of theory. You got a lot of theory in the world from people who don't do any real stuff. Like I was talking and this is an old thing, that has been said before. But we was talking to some people about the current state of the government, this, that, and the third, and they was talking about war. And I'm like, hey man, like you do realize most of the people in the Senate, Congress, and in the White House who push for war times, they ain't really been in a fist fight in their life. So you got people making decisions on people's lives who ain't even been in a fight. That should let you know something. You get what I'm saying? Like we're giving people positions that like, that haven't been anywhere. We live in a country where you reward people for destroying something. You know what? Let me run a bank into the ground and then get a promotion. It's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, decent paying jobs and a good side hustle could get you okay. And here's the interesting thing. The problem, like I said before, is people don't want to do that. People want to have a side hustle that pays more than a decent job because you know I can rewind this 5, 7 years ago when there were droves of young men and women who were in college when YouTube really started paying, who dropped out to be a social media influencer or a content creator. Where are they now? There were so many young men and women who decided I ain't gotta go to school. I'm gonna do YouTube. Where they at? People forget when they had the YouTube house with all these content creators, and then we just gonna act like that didn't exist. Thanks, man. You know, for, that's the thing. And that's the thing with Chat GPT. It I don't think anything is wrong with AI and Chat GPT and all of that stuff. What I think is wrong is if you use that for if you use that for society, Like if you go to school and you use Chat GPT to write your paper, you're a moron. That's what that is. You're a flat out moron. I know people think, I'm gonna get the internet to do my job. It's smart because I got the time on my hands to do what? You don't do anything. That's the problem. If you're using the internet to do something and you're not doing anything else with that free time, it's you become an idiot. You become an idiot. Ain't nobody trying to be no dang on security. Cyber security might be cool, but they ain't trying to do that because now we're at that point. And I make fun of so many different things in life, and I could be wrong for that, but I don't care because I don't care about the sensitivity. Like I'm gonna take this a step further into something else. Um, when it comes to parenting in America, parenting is inactivity at this point. See, people think, and this is what I mean. It's so bad that parents, and I'm a parent, so let's get it. The kid, it's a old thing where where especially in Black America where people go, listen, no, no. Oh, I got you, I got you. My bad, whenever I got you. Um, there's an old thing where you say, listen, don't let these children choose because they'll choose the easy way. Don't let them choose the easy parent. Don't let them choose the easy family. Don't let them choose the easy subjects in school. Don't you ever let them choose because most kids will do the easiest thing for them. And we've lived in a society where we've parenting has become. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna say I love you so much, and you're gonna believe that. But when it's time for you to put in work, you're gonna know I'm lazy just like you are. So we're not gonna do anything. And a lot of young adults weren't prepared for life because they actually thought it was loving to be with somebody who let them do the bare minimum. See, and the reason why I have to say that is because a few generations, 2 generations prior to that, because we live with all these stereotypes, especially in Black America. One of them is, the hardworking Black mother. The reason why that's a stereotype is because even when I was coming up, in the 80s, 90s, it was a stereotype because a lot of people's it wasn't just mothers, but a lot of people's parents, you as a child, you could see them sacrifice for you. You could see them give you the last bit of food and they, not have any that night. You could see that. You get what I'm saying? You understood that. You remember the car running out of gas, or being in the car on a hot day, or we didn't we ate pizza once, every 3-4 months. We ate Chinese food once, you know, every 6 months. We didn't have takeout like that. I we begged our parents for clothes, but they couldn't afford them. We had janky Christmas gifts because our parents couldn't afford it. But we saw them bust they butt every day. Go to work early, come back super late. Go to work when it's dark outside, come back home when it's dark outside. So he was like, yo, okay, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I can't if I'm out here cutting up and acting a fool, and they got fired for that. We literally watched our parents, get fired because the kids was being bad. Because the kid had to be in school cutting up. I just got to act a fool. And it's like, oh, okay. We've seen people's mothers and fathers fired, unemployed, and now the same people cutting up in school just sitting there like, I can't. I can't believe I did that. Like I just thought I was just trying to be, have a little fun, and now they didn't came up here for the 10th time and they ain't got a job no more. We saw that, but now we don't have we've catered to the feeling so much that we let a society be passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? That don't fly no more. And all of this, the society that people are looking for, and just in my opinion, is to be more white. Because if you have a certain age, like I'm in my mid 40s, you know, and it's cold blooded to say it, but we knew a lot of lazy white kids. Nepotism, connections got them by in life. I went to the best schools, yeah, but you was an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like you a real idiot. Like, you wasn't that bright, bro. You know, my family does this and that. It's like that's cool, that's nice. And we saw it as adults, people getting these positions, and like let me use an example, because sometimes these kids, it wasn't their fault at all, right? Like when people think about the Bernie Madoff situation, when he had that Ponzi scheme and he ran over, blew all over other people's money. His kids didn't know he was stealing. His kids was working for him, working at the firm. You know, they're royalty, but they didn't know their dad was a thief. You get what I'm saying? So their whole life was based off of a lie. I'm gonna pass down this stuff to you, son. It's like, this is bad. So now we gotta have this conversation. It's like, it, what are we gonna do in the future? Because, like, when you're looking for innovation, unfortunately, it's not gonna be innovative. I could tell you when innovation stopped, when the music. As soon as I saw the music going down here, I was like, oh, we done, we're done, absolutely cooked. Because what you have is a group of people who think the world should be given to them. You know, I was watching basketball a few over the weekend, and I was like, this is why I don't watch this game. It's not that they like basketball has changed. It's just like, bruh, I'm tired of seeing soft, weak people. I was watching the game and I'm like, bruh, if I see it, who was I watching? It was the Rockets. It was the play. It was the tournament, whatever this fake tournament they have at the beginning of the year. It was the Rockets versus OKC. You know what I'm saying? It was the Rockets versus OKC, and basically they shot as many threes as jump shots, and I was like, bruh, ain't nobody gonna pay to watch this. And the reason why I'm using sports as an analogy right now is because I gotta pay to watch you half-ass it. Like as long as I'm gonna just hover around the 3-point line and step back three, step back three. You didn't miss. You shot 28 threes and you hit 5. You know what I'm saying? 5, 6, and it's like, bro, this is a waste of my damn time. And then people say that's the way you do it. And then let me fast forward into other stuff, because when you watch sports, what do you have? Commercials. You know, yeah, exactly. You watch commercials, and then you're looking at all of these companies and these new companies, and you're like, bro, I'm not finna, oh, the newest car came out. And it's like, ain't nobody buying that. You know what I'm saying? The newest deal on the newest 5 phones came out. It's like, hey, bro, ain't nobody buying that. Ain't got time for this. The newest alcohol came out. Let's like nobody's buying it. You know why? Because it's worthless. They got 50 11 movies coming out. And now people tripping every time a movie comes out. All of a sudden, everything is a flop because people aren't watching it. No, people aren't watching it. You know why people aren't watching it? Because it costs $35 to $50 to go to the movies. I'm not gonna do all that. You know, the movie flop. No, people just wasn't going because it cost too much. It, and the crazy part about it is and this might sound crazy because I get it. We absolutely look watered down. I absolutely get it. And I think somewhat along those lines. The problem is all these other groups think they're gonna replace us doing something. That's what I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm like, hey man, all these other groups didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to do anything. We were forced to do a bunch of stuff. We were put in a position where we had to do something. The get rich or die trying mentality was Black America from the end of slavery to now. But this is what they love. It ain't even the actor. I was on social media and all good fam. I was on social media and I saw The Rock. I think it was on like Jimmy Fallon or something like that. And he said he was, doing The Rock, his promos when he does wrestling or whatever. And he was in Arizona. I want to say Phoenix. I could be wrong, but I think it's Phoenix. And he says, you know, Phoenix is the number one city in America for cocaine use. I'm like, how did you get that? And he's like, since I'm The Rock, I was like, the ladies love The Rock, and he's like, hey, but not that Rock. You get what I'm saying? So he was, how he trolls the stadium. So then I looked it up. I was like, man, let me look at this crazy stuff. So then it had, cities that use the most cocaine, marijuana, meth, heroin. And these cities are predominantly, you know what? I'm going to find this sucker. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Cities that use the most drugs. There we go. This is going to be, and I'm doing this for a reason. Let me see if I could. Hold up. Tempe, yeah, I see. Let me see. There we go. There we go. Look at this. Just look at this. Now, this is the most marijuana. How many of these are black cities? But police can't catch none of these people, right? Because we black people blame for everything. Cities that use the most cocaine. But it seemed like, but it's the crime isn't a problem here. By the look of these cities, I mean, I can see why. Don't look too black, right? Don't look like they willing to check out what's going on with these criminals, right? Heroin use. Look at this. Only place you say black people at the most is Memphis. Interesting. Most rehabs. I don't know why you got to rehab. Well, Mississippi, whatever. Cities with the most meth use, right? In this little triangle of cities, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Phoenix, it keeps popping up. These are where people use the most meth, but they love Breaking Bad, right? Top 10 cities with most overall drug use in America. Look at that. Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Omaha, Wichita, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Colorado Springs, Las Vegas, Mesa, Phoenix. Cities with this is why I had to get at it. Top 10 cities with the least overall drug use. Oakland, that's hella black, ain't it? Detroit, hella black, ain't it? New York, that's where the blacks. Baltimore and DC, Atlanta, New Orleans. Oh, ain't that El Paso? That's hella Mexican. And Miami. Interesting. Interesting, right? And I'm like, what are we talking about? Interesting. So this is who uses the most drugs by category and who uses the least. Interesting. But see, we don't get into this type of stuff. And the reason I had to bring it up, excuse me on that, is because where's all this inactivity coming from? The whole country. Right. I know it's all, but there's no arrest like that in Vegas. Interestingly enough, you know, there, people ain't catching us all this ridiculous time in these cities. And the reason I had to bring it up is because it's a future built on inactivity. Because America has a drug problem that don't want to be addressed because you want to make the drug problem black. You want to make the crime problem black. And if you want to make the drug problem black and the crime problem black, and guess what? All these other people are just, just tripping, right? Case in point, the young little girl that shot up the school in Madison, Wisconsin. You shoot up a school, but somewhere along your manifesto is black people fault. You in Madison, Wisconsin, and ironically enough, you basically shot up the school and killed people and got yourself, and killed yourself like a week before the Christmas break. Like you wasn't even gonna be in school. You couldn't have just said, you know what, let me chill out. Nah, you just had to do it. Because life is so hard in the mean streets of Madison. Oh, it's so hard. And and society goes, yeah, well, everybody has a hard life. No, they don't. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. I'm gonna see something. Violent cities, most violent cities in the US. Let me see. Let me look this up. Let me look this up. St. Louis, Detroit, Little Rock, Cleveland, Springfield is number 8. San Bernardino is number 14. Lansing is number 17. Chicago is number 20. I want to. I'm gonna see if I could do this right before I even put this up here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I could do that. I could do that because the reason I had to have this. He's don't start solo. It ain't. Oh no. Da. I got you. See, Memphis number 1 now, right? St. Louis always been serious. Detroit, Birmingham. Now, because this is where you say these all are predominantly black cities. So Kansas City not so much, Myrtle Beach not so much. Denver got dangerous. You can't blame us. I don't care what you say. You ain't blaming us for Minnesota. Milwaukee, offshoot of Chicago. But who would have thought that Salt Lake City would be dangerous? Springfield, Missouri. Interesting. Portland been Chattanooga. See, Philly is hit Philly, number 17. Dayton, Ohio. Houston, interesting. San Fran is more dangerous than Oakland. Ain't that interesting? Seattle just gangster out there. San Antonio just gangster. Nashville, okay. Vallejo, Winston Salem, top 25. No more. What about the Chicago? What about Chicago? None of that. I gotta have these conversations because people been living in stereotype. You know, people been living in stereotypes for years. For years. The reason I gotta put that out there because wow, you let me get this right. So we got the cities with the most drug use, and they're different from the cities with the most quote unquote that are the most dangerous. I wonder why. Because of drugs is an American problem, don't you think? Because usually drugs bring crime and violence, but people act like crime and violence don't apply to other people when you're in other areas. See what I'm saying? So when I said earlier about incompetence in management and inactivity, you this country going is not gonna ever have a good problem with being a clean country because where your problems are, you're not gonna go. You're not gonna go. Once you change the color, you change the because if America has this drug problem, you would think that the DEA would be all over these top 10 cities. They not though. They not. They're not busting people like that. We not busting Vegas like that. The DEA ain't busting Vegas. DEA ain't busting, you know, Colorado Springs and Mesa and Tempe, Arizona. They ain't doing that. In Phoenix, they ain't doing that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But you know, now let me get to the other part of this when I'm talking about inactivity, because that I just wanted to highlight that because I saw that and I thought it was interesting. The other part of inactivity is this: I didn't realize just as a person how much people don't want to do stuff and how bad of a position that puts people in. You know, and what I mean by you got people who don't want to do simple stuff. And using YouTube, if something broke, you could use YouTube to figure out how to fix it, but they don't want to do it. And I could take myself for example. So my HOA hit me with a they sent me a little letter or whatever, and they say, look, you need to cut your tree because the tree too big, the branches got too big. And I was like, oh snap! Now I gotta start limbing the tree. If you don't know what lemon means, that's just cutting the excess, the huge limbs off to make it, pruning it, whatever you want to call it, trimming it. Same thing you would do with hedges, right? And then I was like, wait, how much would do that cost if I get somebody to do it, bruh? I'm like, I'm paying somebody hundreds of dollars to cut a few limbs and to bag it up. And, and what I did was I went to a Harbor Freight and got a chainsaw for like $40, and I already had some rope. So I just cut the limbs off, chopped them out, cut them down, wrapped them up in a rope, let the garbage man take them. But people don't have that. Like too many people aren't doing that, and what I'm about to say about to be effed up. I'm just using myself as an example for that. So today I'm talking about to my mother on about cars and car insurance. And this is what they don't tell you, right? Because I was telling my mom, I said, Mom, ever since I turned 25, when car insurance, you're supposed to go down as you age, the insurance is supposed to go down as you get older. I was like, my car insurance rose from 25 up. It got higher and higher and higher. It never went down for me, right? And we talking, And I had to tell her. I said, listen, one of the things they don't tell you, because she said when she lived in the suburbs, um, she had a house in the suburbs, and her insurance was low. The suburbs of Chicago, insurance was low because she was in the suburbs. And then she moved back into a black neighborhood, and her insurance doubled. I'm just talking about car insurance right now. And it's like, oh, because you're in an urban environment that, we have to cover you because of the accidents. And we both laugh because we like, there are more accidents in the suburbs than in the hood. There are far more accidents in the suburbs than in the hood because people don't drive that crazy in the hood. People drive crazy in the suburbs. It's wrecks all day long in the burbs. You probably not gonna get in a car wreck in the hood because if somebody hit your car, they might drive off. Your car might be parked somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But that idea of, oh, because it's around white people, and I live in the suburbs, and it's still high. But the other part of that conversation was I was telling my mom, I said, man, one of my neighbors rammed his truck through his garage and on the side of his house, just knocked off all the brick on the side of the house, and knocked the garage door off. You know, and I'm like, dude, you was drunk. You was drunk because the tire the tire tracks, it's was like across the street in another person's yard. So he basically hit the reverse in another person's yard on their sidewalk and reversed all the way back into his house. But it's a white guy, so guess what? Uh, my car it got stuck in gear, man, and man, it just man, it got so stuck, and then it flew out into the street, man, through the garage, man. Yeah, I need the insurance needs to cover it. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the only reason they paying this stuff off because you white. Because there's no way in hell somebody gonna believe a truck that's probably a 2022 got stuck in gear and flew backwards from across the street into your garage. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's white folks, so hey, it is what it is, right? And this is what I mean by inactivity, because what winds up happening is what? This incompetence, you know, makes these businesses say, I'm gonna pass on these charges to somebody else. And the reason I'm saying this because I was telling my mom, I said, listen, these insurance companies about to have a rude awakening because a lot of people are just gonna start riding dirty with no insurance because they keep going up and up on this insurance. They're like that's part of the reason why people don't have cars. Because I was like, these cars cost too much. Then the used cars cost too much. I said, but the car insurance on these cars costs too much. You got people paying $4, $5, $6, $700 for for as a car payment, but they paying two, three, four, $500 for the insurance with it. So guess what's gonna happen? They're not getting the car. They like, man, I ain't driving this. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. So now this society is inactivity. And people think, oh, I'm gonna pass it on to the next consumer. Because that's part of the reason why these rates on everything keep going up. Because people say I'm not doing it. So these companies, I'm accustomed to making $1 billion a year. And now we done lost, you know, let's just say $200 million in revenue because people have ditched us. So we're gonna pass that to our current clients, and at a certain point, you're gonna lose them too, and these companies gonna go under. But part of this incompetence and inactivity, just as for the future, is like people are not gonna have anything. They're not gonna have anything. And I'm watching people build stuff, and I'm like, bro, when people talk about the housing market, I was like, ain't nobody buying these damn houses. You know how I know? Because you not white collar career. If people aren't working and people are quitting jobs and people are not really paying attention to school and people are not really working and people don't really have a side hustle and people don't really have a work ethic and people aren't really healthy and people aren't working out and people aren't dating people aren't doing anything, then I hate to break the news to you, but you're not going to have a society that builds a damn thing. You know, like some of y'all don't. Let me say this. One of the interesting thing about I've talked about family court before, right? Family courts, they're going to start firing people, because I've said it before because for one, courts in general, because now you can do court from home on the phone, on the phone. So now you don't have to go in the building as much. And even in family court, it's like, now you don't have to go to the court. And now people aren't having kids like that. So now you're not gonna have all of these issues, your child support issues, is baby mama drama, baby daddy drama. You're not gonna have all these issues because people ain't ain't dealing with it. And what's gonna happen to the court? The court gonna be like, hey man, we gotta get this revenue somehow. And people like, I ain't gotta give you nothing. I ain't gotta do nothing with you. So that inactivity of being screwed over is screwing with the population because people don't want to tell you the truth. And the truth is, even white America's population decline. Part of that is their family courts. People want to blame, oh, the father's not in the household with Black America. Father's not in the household with white America because of all them damn divorces. All them damn divorces. They're not in the household in white America either. So they're not having kids because they sick of it. You know, us and Hispanics are having kids a little bit less rate. What's up, fam? So now we got this game. So nobody don't want to do nothing. And then, boy, this is gonna suck that I had to say this. Then you got all these people out here talking about they waiting on their family members to die to leave them something. Them family members ain't finna leave you nothing. Nothing. Because they tired of helping y'all. That's the problem. When I fast forward and they say, there are people who having kids, you're having a society built on inactivity where, the parents are not teaching the kids nothing, the school's not teaching the kids nothing because the teachers are quitting. The internet's not teaching the kids nothing because the kids don't have a thirst for information or knowledge. So what are you going to have a society of? People who really don't know how to do anything but complain. And the reason I say that is because I see more and more people complaining about the most trivial of things. And the reason why they complaining is because they ain't got nothing better to do with their time. Nothing better to do with their time. So it's like, all right, bro. We done. You get what I'm saying? We just done with all this thing. Oh, hey. Have a ball, man. Enjoy yourself. Congratulations on that. Right. If nobody's producing anything, that might make prices rise even more. And even if you do, think about that though. If nobody's producing anything and they gonna make the price of stuff go up, that's because nobody's buying it. Like I laugh when people say, "Man, the prices of eggs is ridiculous." My wife buy eggs, so it ain't on me. I don't eat eggs like that. So if the price of eggs go up, I don't care. If Solo we used to talk about the prices. He's like chicken wings. The prices of chicken went up, and this is a whole nother thing. He was like, the price of chicken wings was crazy in the grocery store, and I was like, yo, happy birthday to your sister tomorrow. And I was like, yo, just get the drumsticks. The drumsticks cheap because people don't fry chicken no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because what's happening in our society is I don't know why companies are believing this and people are believing this, where I'm accustomed to buying a certain thing, and if the price keeps going up, I'ma still buy it because I gotta have it. The hell you nope. No, you don't. No, you don't. The hell you no. I remember people that used to love drinking. I used to, I don't see a lot of beer drinkers like I used to. Cause beer costs too damn much. It kept going up on their ass. You know, I don't see people buying 12 packs and 24 packs like they used to. I don't see people buying alcohol like these. I don't even go to liquor store that much no more though. But you know, I just like, man, I just can't. I can't buy another bottle of $50 liquor. You know, it's not gonna work. It's the same thing. Like I laugh nowadays because, and it's about to be trifling. One of the biggest things I laugh at now, and it sucks to say this, right? Oh boy, I don't want to say this shit. I just realized I don't want to say it. I laugh my ass off because nowadays you can have a gym membership for $10 a month. People spend more at Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, Sonic, in a 2 day span than they do a gym membership. And the crazy part about it is, so look, I'm about to say it, dog. That when I sit down and I look at stuff, because you're gonna get older, you're gonna gain weight, all that other stuff. That's cool. That's part of life. But when I'm sitting here and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, you want to explain to me how you 40 years old and you don't drink water? You drinking Gatorade, but you don't do nothing. You don't sweat. You pay for Gatorade, but you don't sweat. You don't drink water. You're on all these crazy diets, but you ain't decided to work out. And then you got the nerve to I want to be my best self. Bro, I'm about to okay. Now I'm about to let. See. I've been trying. I've been trying. So let me show you how inactive we are as a people. I don't go to church. I don't go to church. I don't. I haven't gone to church in years. Don't like church. I don't like the atmosphere. I just don't like it. But people are inactive with God. You get what I'm saying? Like people are inactive with God. Like and I don't mean inactive with church. I mean inactive with God. We didn't grow up being inactive with God. We don't thank God, we don't pray to God, we don't appreciate life, we just yeah, we just act like it's not a big deal. I'm like, oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But all of a sudden, I'm about to. But the irony is, all of a sudden, if you go broke, you need God. You know what I'm saying? We inactive with faith. We don't believe in ourselves because we ain't doing nothing to believe in ourselves. So it's no reason like people have self-confidence for nothing. Nothing. I'm confident in myself and my abilities. What do? Nothing. I'm just confident. Confidence is not something that you walk around with for no damn reason. Confidence comes from the things you do. So we want to play this game, you know. So now you have people who are confident at being confident. You know what I'm saying? So you're inactive. Then you got people out here, you're inactive with God, you're inactive with your self-confidence, you know, you're inactive with your health, or but you're very active with fashion. You want to look fly. For what? You didn't eat right? You don't drink water? You don't care about God? You don't care about yourself? And you want to take a look in the mirror and say, people see me for what? To do what? And then, and I got to say this because part of this issue becomes, you know, part of this issue becomes we're teaching the kids to be inactive. They think being inactive is cool. That's what they think. Like, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm all right. I'm gonna be good. So now y'all gonna go, like Glorilla all day long, and that's gonna change your life? No. You're just gonna be dumb somewhere. I'm 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 about you know, you really don't want me to go there with that part. Let me okay. Watch what just follow my logic on this. Just follow my logic on this. If we're living in a society right now where most people want to have a home, right? That's just the American dream is a home, a home, two-car garage, picket fence, and a husband, a wife, and some kids. Let's just go there. This is why I say it's a future built on inactivity. Give me the percentage of people that you know that know how to or are willing to cut grass and edge the yard. Just give me. You ain't got to do it perfectly. You just do it. How many? What is the percentage of people that vacuum the carpet, that mop the floor, that clean the toilet, that clean the tub, that wash the dishes, that wash the clothes, that cook on a regular basis, that make leftovers, that eat leftovers? See, I could do this all day because this is just home stuff. You get what I'm saying? Just home stuff. Just home stuff. Just right. How many? And then we get to the that's the house stuff, right? That's inside the house. I ain't even talking about most of the stuff outside. I ain't even talking about that part yet. How many of y'all changing light bulbs? How many of y'all changing the fire detector batteries? You get what I'm saying? Like, how many people? It's just simple shit. How many of y'all know how to restart the water heater? You get what I'm saying? Think about this stuff. But I want to have the American dream in the home. Rotating the time. Nope. And then we get to the relationship part. How many people are approaching people? How many people actually responding when people approach people? How many people are actually going dating? How many people are actually interested in other people? You get what I'm saying? Like I'm leaving the sex out of it right now. How many people actually have conflict resolution? You know, conflict resolution. Especially. Hey, man, listen. You know what? I don't like fat people wearing sports gear. I don't. But I'm gonna tell you what's worse: a skinny, bad built person wearing athletic sports gear. That's worse. That's worse to me. That's way worse to me. Cause I know you're not doing nothing. Fat people in sports gear is tight. They just tight for no reason. But when you just bad built and skinny, and it look like you sagging in extra medium clothes, it just don't make no sense to me. Just don't make no sense because now you inactive. And let me get to that while I'm at it. You know, even when it comes to this fake little thug life people got out here, you can't be. Ain't nobody scared of no inactive thug. You know. I'm just saying, fam. I'm just saying. Inactive thugs, man. Inactive thugs. It don't make no sense. I'm just saying, Abdul, like we got a society that our future gonna be built on inactivity. People not gonna like. I listen to people ask questions about Americans. Do you know certain information, and people don't know continents and cities and states and regular American history and regular mathematical problems. Just and you sit there and you go, oh shit, like who they think gonna do this stuff in the future? Like really? Like this what you think? Like people not being able to write in cursive is the least of our problems at this point. Like we're as Adrian Broner say, we gonna get cooked because nobody's gonna know how to do anything, and that's the goal, is to not know how to do something. That's scary to me. But you know what, man? Let me take my ass to bed. I got to go to work in the morning, and I got to work out in the morning. So I'm gonna just get out of here, fam. I'm disgusted. I spoke enough anyway, so catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
spoken from the lips of the young or the old. There are many.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I walk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke. Then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly. Okay.